Just got back to Palermo after being on the island of Favignana and down south in Selinunte on the south coast of Sicily, and we're staying at the hotel we've stayed at a number of times, the Hotel Politeama, and it's right across the street from the Teatro Garibaldi, which is like the second biggest live theater in Palermo, and it's right where it's happening. We're on the 7th floor. We have a great room. Let me just show you. We have a outdoor patio that goes, it's a wraparound because we're on the corner unit, so we can face two different directions. This is facing north, and there's a house up there on the hill. It's fantastic. I just noticed it. I don't think I noticed it before because we weren't on a higher floor than we are now. So that pink house up there on the mountain, just to the west of Palermo, probably still in the city limits, but and then you can see like there's a cruise ship there through the buildings. A lot of red tile roofs. A lot of people waiting for a bus. We came here from Castelvetrano up on the bus, on the Salimi bus, which dropped us off right there, right across from the hotel. So this is really a great location for us, off the Via della Libertà. So we're like right on the edge of the old town, which, as you go more and more to the east in Palermo, it gets older and older. So like right on the other side of this piazza, I would say, is when the real old town starts. But the area we went through, it's also older, very nice. And you see Palermo's ringed by mountains on all sides. Really dramatic setting. And then on the Mediterranean on the north side. So I just had to share this view. And a very typical thing is we must be near a major hospital because we hear ambulances go by. So if another ambulance goes by, I'll try to capture that sound, because you'll know you're in Europe when you hear that sound from an ambulance. So we're really going to enjoy our last 2 days in Palermo here at the Hotel Politeama. One of the guys wearing a wreath on his head. Some other people aren't too. Anyway, this is on Via Maquetta, across from the Teatro Maximo. We're just walking along, headed for the older part of town. It's got a good feel, but this isn't really the real Palermo, even though there's tons of people just out doing stuff. On a Friday. There's a ton of markets like this in Palermo, but I won't show it. I find looking at all the things that are for sale on markets. Kind of boring, but there are a lot of markets like this. And we keep walking on this street. It's a scene. So this is the busiest east-west traffic street in old Palermo, looking west along Via Palermo. These people are gonna go out there. People are supposed to stop when you're in a crosswalk, but they barely slow down here. And then back looking east, you can see the mountains rising in the background. And this is a real central bus route. Route 101 runs between the central station, Stazione Centrale, and the soccer stadium, which is to the west of downtown. Not too far out. So it's just a straight line pretty much. Here comes La Polizia. Most of the streets in Old Town Palermo are packed with pedestrians along the Via Maquetta or Via Roma. So sometimes I like to just take these narrow little alleyways. To get away from the madding crowd. Doesn't get quieter than this in Palermo. This long mural along this wall that goes around the corner and down this block behind the police station, and it's called the Wall of Legality. And these are all people that are or were in the legal system. I'll try to get more information on this. Might have to do a lot of research here, a lot of translations. Behind the police station is a very lightly visited street. For all the time and effort they put into this. Really well done. And unlike so much of Palermo, it's not covered in graffiti. Right behind this building. Well, I found the transit center, I think. This is for the bus terminal. We're way at the eastern end of the old town, where it's a little less crowded. But here's where you would catch some of the inner city buses on Sicily. We need to see, I think this is a train station up here. We'll go up and take a look. So there's a little piazza here outside of the south side of the train station. Looks like the main part might be under scaffolding, so let's take a look through, go in this way if we can. But like I've seen elsewhere in Italy, a lot of the train stations are under reconstruction, which is a good thing. We shall see what's going on here. All right, let's go in. It's 11 a.m. Not here to catch a train, just to take a look at the train station while my wife does some shopping. So they have, like the other train stations, they have everything in Italian and English. This is like the Grand Central of Sicily. So it tells you where the trains are coming from and where they're going to. And there's one train that just goes to the airport. If you're staying at this part of downtown, just hop on the train, go straight to the airport. And it is really convenient at the airport. There's a train that goes to Milano, Agrigento, historic Greek ruin city. I was just looking for one for Trapani, but I don't see it. My wife said she saw something that there is no train service, at least currently, between Palermo and Trapani. I'll have to double check on that. Although it's kind of hard to get information sometimes. So, a couple of tracks might be under renovation or something here, because it starts with track 5 and then it goes over to track 10. So that's 6 tracks. Trains are pretty short here on Sicily, I've noticed. This is one of the longer trains. It actually is like 4 cars. Let's see about this one coming in here. Doesn't look very long. Train Italia. Let me just see where this green train is going. Train is going in a couple of minutes. By the way, when we took the train out of Trapani, it was right on time. There's other local stops it can make on its way to the airport. But I want to see if it's going past the airport here. I think it does. And it might be such a thing you have to change trains in order to go to Trapani, which is to the west of Palermo. Looking to see if there's going to be anything in English here. Just a ton of people getting on this train. So you can't make a better train to bus connection. Here's the train here, the bus is right over here. And they have signage just like the train, so really a logical system. When we've talked to various people from Sicily about the train system, they put it down, but it's not that bad. Maybe it's because they're rebuilding a lot and certain sections of the system maybe are out of service. I don't know what the complaint is, or maybe they go on strike more than they should, or cancel trains sometimes. But our impressions have been good. The insides of the train are nice. Outsides look pretty cool. It's the way they should, so people would want to ride them. I just want to wait for this train to take off from Palermo Centrale. Well, just one piece of information. I'm looking for that. The train goes from Palermo to Trapani, and it's about a 1-hour bus ride, maybe a little longer. And on the train, you have to change trains somewhere, and they say the total trip duration is like 4 to 5.5 hours for what otherwise would be a 1 hour and 15-minute bus ride. So boy, there's no comparison. Trapani's a fairly good sized city, and you would think that a fair amount of people would want to go there. So anyway, that's the story I get from online. Alright, this train is taking off here. And this is electric, yeah. They do have catenary here, overhead catenary. And there it goes, quick acceleration. And one thing it has to do in Palermo, it has to go out to the east and south, and then if it wants to go to the airport, it has to sort of do a loop and come back, go west. There it goes. Headed for the airport. But speaking of the airport, this is what you really want to take. We just catch this right near our hotel. It's very inexpensive. Prestia e Command is the name of the bus line. So its first stop is here at the train, and then we get it further west of here, near our hotel, where a lot of people also get on. One of these days, maybe not in the near future, when they make the English announcements, it'll be in American English rather than British. It always gets me that the British pronounce schedule. Anyway, I wonder whether American English is easier to understand for people who are non-native speakers, or is British English easier to understand? Or maybe it's the same. Just a question I throw out there. Here's the main entrance hall where you can buy your tickets. Biglietteria. And the main schedule board. And you can buy your tickets from the machine too. Alright, let's go out and see what the station looks like from the front. There's other buses that come by the front too. And it's in a nice area of town. You can see by the architecture above the buses. Here's the front of the station. They have hop-on, hop-off buses that come by here, and local buses, and constant traffic. And some of these people are standing, maybe they're not trying to cross, but you can't wait. You just gotta walk out there and they'll stop for you. Like you're in Vietnam or something. Alright. That is it for the Palermo Centrale train station. Getting a little renovation on the south side.